This quest can be started east of Al-Kharid at the place known as the Giant's Plateau. Before you head over there though, make sure you have 10 bronze nails, 3 oak logs, a chisel, a hammer, and wool. Once you have the necessary items, make your way over there and you'll come across this giant right here next to the cave. Select the strike option on him to begin the quest. Once you talk to him for a bit, the option to accept the quest will pop up, and once you do that, you will follow him inside the cave. A cutscene will then play. After the cutscene is over, you'll have to inspect and repair 3 tools that are found throughout the workshop. The 3 tools are the trip hammer, the grindstone, and the polishing wheel. This is where you'll use the items that I told you to bring at the very beginning of the video. Once you're done repairing the items, go back to Kovac and speak with him. He'll tell you that before you can start the minigame that you need a commission, and apparently he has those. He already has one for a flat broadsword as shown here. And after you receive that, make sure to search the box for a variety of metals and weapons and armor. Once you've searched the box, go back to Kovac and talk to him for your next step. The next step is to fill up the crucible that is located near the bank. Here we'll be putting all of the metal bars that we received from the crate, as well as the weapons and the armor. When you click on the crucible, you'll have the option to add all of the iron and all the bronze bars, and for the items you can simply right click use and then use them on the crucible. Once you've filled up the crucible, go back to Kovac and talk to him for the next step. The next step requires you to set up the mold jig that is located right next to you. Simply click on it to start the process, and since we are looking for a flat broadsword, I just made sure to pick the options that had flat and broad. And at the end of it, on the bottom left at the commission, you could see that I had 8 flat and 8 broad, and that seemed to work. Set up the mold and then talk to Kovac once again. He'll then tell you that the next step is to pour the crucible into the mold. And after you've done that, make sure to speak with him again for the next step. He'll tell you that it's too hot to pick up, so make your way over here to grab a bucket and then go to the waterfall to fill it up. Once you have the water in the bucket, use that on the mold and you can cool it down and then pick it up. And now that you've picked it up, you'll have a nice little UI on screen that tells you various things about the minigame. Just a quick overview of what you're looking at. The first bar is the quality bar, that is how good your blade is. The second bar is the temperature of the blade, and the third bar is telling you what tools you need to use. So the first tool that we'll be using is the trip hammer, and you'll notice that as we use it, the bottom bar, which is the progression bar, is going up and telling you how much you need to use the tool for. And as you're using it, you'll also notice that the second bar, which is the temperature, is dropping. Now you don't want to use the trip hammer unless your temperature is in the red zone. If you try using the trip hammer when you are out of the red zone, you'll notice that your first bar, the quality bar, will go down in value. An example of that can be seen right here. I actually did in fact damage the blade whenever I went to heat it up. The temperature dropped down into the yellow zone and I went back to the lava to get it back up into the red, and I guess I went too far, and you'll notice that the red bar will actually lose the white outline, and if it loses that, that means you're out of the temperature that you need to be in. So make sure to keep that in mind. Now like I said, I used the lava to heat up the blade, and if you want to cool down the blade, you can just go over to the waterfall and do it there. Now for the next step, we are using the grindstone, so you want to make sure that the temperature is in the yellow spot, but for this one you want to make sure that you go to the waterfall and cool it down to where it's at the very beginning of the yellow spot, because as you use the grindstone, the temperature of the blade does in fact go up. Each tool step usually requires you to either heat up or cool down the blade at least once in order to fully complete that progress bar, so just make sure that you're watching that carefully. And after you're done with the grindstone, the last step is to use the polishing wheel, and for that you want to make sure that the temperature is in the green. And this tool behaves just like the first one. As you use the tool, the temperature does go down, so you don't have to worry about bringing it down all the way to the bottom of the green bar like you did with the grindstone. And once you're done with the last tool, that is it. You've successfully made your first blade in the Giant's Foundry. Make your way over to Kovac and speak with him one last time to complete the quest. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, I hope it helped, and thank you to all of my channel members, with a special thanks to ACR Beans. Once again, hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next episode.